Hello and good Monday morning to you, my trumpeting trombones of whipped celestial cream cheese fondant with a side of cookie dough. Coffee cheers to you. It is I, Hallie, with June's finale episode of our weekly reading book review. So pour yourself a cup of coffee for this fine, very humid Monday morning. And we're going to talk about the books I read this week. So here we go. Coffee cheers. Hooray. Okay, the first one I finished, we talked about pretty extensively last week. I was in the thick of it. This is Duet by Elise Broach. Middle grade, so easy to read, all reading levels with a handful of illustrations throughout. Specifically revolving around a prodigy of Chopin piano playing and his teachers and a competition and a bird, a goldfinch, who lives in the tree outside the teacher's house, and her family, the goldfinch's family, and new brothers and sisters, and playing with the boy as his warm-up, and etc. So if you have piano players in your house, and if you like a treasure hunt and some piano history, perhaps this is for you. It wasn't necessarily things I read all the time, but stunning cover illustration, and enjoyed that. Big fan of Elise Broach, so, you know, read it if you want to. The next one I finished. Oh gracious, how had I never read this one before? Maybe because there's 100 million books in the world. This is True Grit by Charles Portis. This is grown up. It is a Western. It's kind of a thriller, manhunt, chase. There is a wee bit of violence, but stunning, absolutely stunning. Cannot highly recommend enough. Donna Tartt wrote the afterwords and kind of elucidated why it resonates so well. It's the voice of the character, and as a writer, aspiring published author of children's books, I'm picking up on things like, well, this protagonist didn't know the guy being hanged's name was this or what he did. But when we get to the end, we realize it's her flashback monologue telling us the story. So you're always in scene, but with details in her head. The sparring between the Texas Ranger and the U.S. Marshal who she hires to go find the man who killed her father is brilliant. And of course, again, with voice, it's the perspective the character has on the world. So all of their late 1800s colloquialisms of living out west in the era of cowboys and Indian territory, etc. So absolutely brilliant. I did, after I finished this brilliant book, which you should read, by the way, and should probably be standard required reading again in school, because it's great. Like, who wouldn't want to read this? I did get from my library the John Wayne version of True Grit, so it was probably a lot less gooey than I imagined the remake was with Haley Steinfeld, I think she pronounced their name like me, I don't know. Anyway, so this was John Wayne. The acting was terrible. Like, it was just awful. The girl who played the main heroine, she was fine, Maddie, but John Wayne just doesn't act, and forgive me if you're a fan, and the guy who was the Texas Ranger was terrible. He's like, hi, I'm on screen, I'm saying my line, I don't care who else is sharing the screen with me, and very robotic and flat, and no character, emotion, whatever. Anyway, the good thing about this, what I also did not, you guys know, I'm also into film and other art forms, and so I'm a nerd about this stuff. It was filmed in Technicolor, which, hello, huge fan of Technicolor. That's why they gave us Dorothy's ruby red shoes instead of the original silver shoes, as in Frank Baum's novel, because to show off Technicolor. I love Technicolor. I live in rainbow glitter, right? This was also done in Technicolor, but it's gritty and dark, and it should be somber and not bright colors, and it was weird. And the other thing, what I was going to tell you too, less violent, less gory probably than the new one. It's rated G, although you do cuss a little. But anytime someone gets shot or their fingers cut off, etc., they're just like red paint on their shirt, and it's not like a wound. And so it's watchable, but I would skip it. Read the book. Cool. Okay. Got that clear? I think I've made my opinions well known. The other book I read this week, I picked up because Constance Lompardo is a SCBWI member who lives near me up in Asheville, and this is her brand new picture book. It's so cute. Itty Bitty Betty Blob by Constance Lompardo, illustrated by Micah. Picked it up at my local indie. I'm Judson, of course. Super cute. We'll talk about it. in July's, my Patreon, the crayon box, we will do our picture book deep dive on this one. Also on our Substack, I post that video there. But okay, love the end sheets, and holy cow, the naked cover, how gorgeous is this? It reminds me, I'm not gonna be able to think of it right now because coffee's still cooking in. There's a Japanese artist that does these oversized, cutesy, sculptures, and if you know what I'm talking about, great. But love this, love this. I would wallpaper my house with this because that's just who I am. Anyway, so again, this is Itty Bitty Betty Blob by Constance Lompardo, a picture book, super cute. We'll talk about that more next month. Okay, currently reading, let me just set these aside. So close to done. I'm like 40 pages away from the end. This is dense, and it only took me so long because I was highlighting like everything. This is Judi Dench's Shakespeare, The Man Who Pays the Rent. It is her conversations with Brendan Ohia. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, it is delightful. Originally, they were just, he was recording them for the Globe Theater's archives, and her grandson's friend walked through and was like, this is kind of interesting, sat down and was laughing along with them. So it is candid conversations about every role she's played in Shakespeare over the past like 75 years, literally. She's about to turn 90 in December. Her first role was when she was 15 in school in Shakespeare. So she's been performing Shakespeare for 75 years. Incredible and hilarious. So we're going play by play, all the characters she played throughout them, both insight to the plot, her acting techniques, and whatever. So if you like theater, if you like Shakespeare, even a little, if you're a fan of Judi Dench, you may adore this book. And of course, a little blurb from, she calls him Ken, Kenneth Branagh at the top, a magical love letter to Shakespeare. Well, you know, here for that. So thoroughly enjoying. It's over 300 pages, so it's a lot, but it is a conversation, so it reads quickly, and you could probably skip ahead to whichever play you happen to be the most interested in. Cool? Yeah, great. Okay, reading next. Maybe. Also, when I picked up Itty Bitty Betty Blob at my local indie, couldn't resist this stunning, this is middle grade fiction as well. This is The Girl Who Kept the Castle by Ryan Graudin. I think that's how you say her. Hi, Ryan. So looking forward to that. Just magic, fantasy, middle grade adventure. 90% sure it's a standalone, so it's not like I'm signing up for a 9-book series over the next 12 years. Also, pretty colors. I like pink and purple. And castles and witches and magic. So we're gonna read that, maybe. Also, ooh, I just saw spooky eyes. And then, of course, because Staff Reckwall, oops, M. Judson, Bruno, Chief of Police by Martin Walker, which I don't know if this is the first one in the series, but remember when I went to Arizona in February and I picked up one that was signed by this author? Same guy. So it's French countryside. The guy who recommended it, the employee at M. Judson, said, I usually don't read mysteries, thrillers, detective novels, crime, whatever. It's just not my deal, but this is brilliant and hilarious and cozy. So this sounds like cozy detective French countryside fiction that kind of really don't care if the bad guys get caught because it's not high crime. So looking forward to that. Should be voicey. Again, adult fiction, but should be an enjoyable read. Bruno, Chief of Police, Martin Walker. Cool. And then I was at another bookstore with my husband, and he was buying some boring history of philosophy book. To each their own, right? He reads that. I read other things. Look at this adorable, the pink spine and the shortness caught my eye. Japanese fiction. Look how cute that is. It's a little sushi ball, a happy little face with the bow. This is Convenience Store Women by Sayaka Murata. Haven't read it. Apparently national bestseller and whatever. I just hadn't heard of it because, again, there's 100 million books in the world. So looking forward to that. Oops, all my books are flying. Nice, short, looks easy to read. It's so cute. So this is adult fiction, so keep you appraised of content inside. Okay, believe it or not, I need more coffee. So hope you have a wonderful week, the last week of June. Thanks. I will be posting, of course, July Scribbles. We'll be posting my Substack finale newsletter wrap up for the month. And it's your last week to get our June exclusive sticker. And next 2 people who sign up for the Crayon Box, my Patreon, the paid subscription to inside the studio of my studio, and all the benefits that come with that, you can look it up. I'll put the link below. Anyway, I have 2 Felix tattoos left. Some Crayon Box members randomly got those. The next people who sign up for a paid subscription will definitely get a tattoo. People love them, so we'll see if we make more. And spoiler alert, get on the list because July Crayon Box are getting 2 stickers to celebrate a certain international event happening in a certain city that I spent a certain amount of time in last year doing art and writing and research. Okay? Hint, hint, you know, do you know? Anyway, 2 sticker months next month, and tattoo and June sticker if you sign up for the crayon box this month. Okay, bye. That's all I have to say. And looking forward to being back on Instagram. We'll talk about that later. Okay, bye. Mwah!